Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I am very happy you have chosen to join me for this reading as we look into messages from angels and source for you to know in this moment. Please know it is timeless, so whenever you have chosen to click on the video to listen or watch, it is meant for you at that point in your journey. If there's any information throughout the reading that does not connect with you, please feel free to let that go. And if there is information or messages that do connect with you, do resonate with your situation, I would encourage you to open your heart and mind to receiving them, as well as continue to think through them after the video has come to an end. Before we look at the cards, let's focus on our breathing. And as you inhale and exhale, allow your body to feel centered and focused. As you inhale and exhale, let go of any busyness or heaviness that you may feel in your mind and on your heart. As you're breathing, you can ask Source if there are any symbols or signs for you to see and receive. And as you inhale and exhale, release any tightness, tension that you may feel throughout your body or in a particular area of your body. And let's begin. I'll be using two different decks today. If you're interested in either one of them, the information is listed in the description box below. We're first going to start with our tarot. And we have the Ace of Swords, the Eight of Cups, the Ten of Swords, the Knight of Cups, Ego, which is a major arcana, number 15. Justice, number 8, another major arcana, and they're side by side, which in my readings for me, if the cards, major arcana, are side by side or close to each other in a reading or are bookends to a reading, it definitely calls our attention and our focus to the messages that come through. Oh, I'm sorry, we have the King of Wands. So our first card is the Ace of Swords, and it says, brilliant ideas that may need refinement, overcoming obstacles with faith that everything will work out, communicate clearly and consciously, remain objective. So in this moment, you may have a burst of creativity, a burst of ideas, or maybe you have a couple of ideas that you're wondering if you should start, or you're dabbling in each of them and you've just had this creative energy come forth or new perspective come through that's given light and energy to projects or side projects that you've been working on. And the Ace of Swords is definitely one of that energy of movement, of creativity, of seeing things through. So here it is saying, and your angels and source want you to know that you do have these brilliant ideas, but before you extend them, before you give them out to the universe and to those around you, they may need a little bit of refinement. So I would encourage you to kind of go through them again with a fine-tooth comb. If you're pitching something to a company, if you are about to go to an interview I'm receiving, make sure that you have what I'm sensing is your ducks in a row, for lack of better words. Make sure that you feel good about the information, that everything connects together before presenting it. Also, with the Ace of Swords, you can see it's snowing. This young individual has his coat on, gloves, winter. I'm sensing maybe the little bit of a dark night of the soul, thinking of the moon. There's a storm in the background here. So as the card says, you may be overcoming obstacles right now. Maybe there's obstacles been in your way to share those ideas that you have developed. New plans, new budget plans is what I'm receiving. So move forward with faith and belief that everything will work out. There are challenges in life, but what we do with and through those challenges define us, but also will shape the outcome. So move forward with confidence and strength. It also says on here, communicate clearly and concisely. So it goes back to that first message and the other information that I was receiving. Make sure you have your ducks in the row. Make sure when you go to present, when you go to interview, maybe you are teaching a workshop, training, make sure that you communicate clearly so that those who are receiving the information can understand. And can understand it, I'm sensing, the first time. And that doesn't mean there may not be a couple of questions, but you want to do your best so that information is communicated clearly and concisely, so there isn't confusion throughout the presentation or the giving of the information. And then also remain objective. When we think of the swords, it does go with justice, and we have justice here in our reading. So it is that of making sure that you're able to see both sides of the coin. That is definitely what I'm receiving. So remain objective. I'm sensing new perspective, letting go of old information, ways that no longer serve you and the situation, and no longer allow the situation that you may be in, may shortly be coming in, to move forward. So you're going to want to let go of the old because it's no longer serving you, the individuals in the situation, and the situation as a whole. Next, we have the Eight of Cups, and it says the need to move on, seeking more from life than what you are experiencing, a spiritual quest, choosing to make big life changes, a change in priorities, leaving home. So definitely sensing that in this moment, Source is saying, if you have been questioning, if your gut has been telling you, if you have been going back and forth between your mind and your heart about the need to move on, this is a strong encouragement to consider that and to take the step to do so. Also, seeking more from life than what you are experiencing. It could be that you are stuck right now. You're bored. You're spinning your wheels. You feel like you're in a cycle. You're returning to point A over and over again. There's a need to move on from what is causing that. There's also a need to figure out why and what is causing that cycle, causing you to be stuck. Is it self? Are you getting in your own way? Is it external pressure or influences that are coming in that maybe you need to pull away from, disconnect a little bit from? Because there is more opportunity, more life for you to experience than what you are right now. And it could be, as the next statement says, a spiritual quest. So if you practice faith, connecting with your higher power, seeking wisdom from that higher power, those who share like faith, seeking knowledge and wisdom from them as well. And then choosing to make a big life change that kind of goes back to the need to move on. That came through very strongly initially with this card. And it's most likely speaking to some who are watching this video at the time, even if you've presented a question at the outset of the video before you clicked on it and you're looking for signs or symbols. This could be your sign that it's time to make a life change. It could be that a big life change is coming soon. You can see that the door has been open. He's walking through, a little bit scratching of the head, and the dog is looking back. So maybe you are uncertain right now. Maybe there's signs that are starting to indicate a life change for you. Could be job, career, relationship, friendship, just your job in general. Maybe not shifting a whole different career, but moving placements in a job to a different job within your specialty. And then it could be just a change in priorities as well. So is your work and relationship priorities, are they in balance? Is your family, home, and relationships and priorities in balance? This card here, definitely coming behind that Ace of Swords, is encouraging you. If you answered, not really, they're not, I could do more. There could be some shifts, some changes to make those priorities more balanced. If you are saying that to yourself, this card is definitely encouraging you to look into that. And then for some, it could be that you're leaving home. Maybe you're going off to college. Maybe you're moving on from your home. Maybe you just bought a new home. Maybe you're moving from an apartment, condo, townhome to a home, a family-sized home. And it could be that. And this card is encouraging you to keep moving forward in that direction as well. Next, we have the Ten of Swords. And this card says, the end of a situation that brings relief, sadness, or both, the opportunity for new happiness, a weight off your shoulders, the end of an addiction, a melodramatic reaction. So this does connect to that Ace of Wands. It connects with the Ace of Swords and the Eight of Cups, that there is something that is changing, something that has changed. It's brought you to the end of a cycle or an end of a difficult situation. And you feel a sense of relief that difficult situation has come to an end, even if there's sadness connected to it, because those challenges can be long and they can be weary, the difficultness of them. And it could be, again, as the card says, you're feeling a little bit of both. Don't feel guilty about either one of them, friends. Your emotions are your emotions, and it's okay to feel them. What we have to be mindful of is not remaining in them, getting stuck in them. So the need to move on, maybe you know you'll have relief from it, but it also may bring some sadness. When you have these two back to back, it's acknowledging that, but still indicating that need for change, the need to move on, overcoming those obstacles, and really gaining the wisdom that you may need to take that step. The opportunity for new happiness. Again, are you experiencing all from life that you should be, that you deserve to experience? So the opportunity is there for new happiness. If you choose to get unstuck, if you choose to figure out what is at the root that's causing that, a little bit of that chaos is what I'm receiving in the mind, in this situation, in your soul. There's opportunities for you to have happiness. Just be willing to do that inner work and that perspective and see what it is that's causing it. So you can, I'm sensing, really just pluck it out at the roots and be able to move forward with that new energy and excitement. And kind of going back, the next statement is a weight off your shoulders. Yes, when we come through a difficult situation, again, we may be feeling a variety of emotions, but it is a weight lifted when we see the light, when we come through to the end. And the next statement is the end of an addiction. And yes, the 10 of Swords is that heavy burden, is the difficulty of making that decision to release whatever that addiction, I'm sensing the word, that bondage, the demon that has you held to that substance. And you are coming to the end of that addiction. You have walked through that difficult road to make the first step. Maybe you're in the middle of recovery, or maybe you have years behind you. May I say kudos to you. Pat yourself on the back. Let the energy of being proud of yourself, not the ego side, but being proud of that accomplishment. You deserve the accolades. It is a very difficult choice, friends, but when you make it, there are new opportunities for new happiness. It's a weight off your shoulders. You may feel a mix of emotions, but it is for your higher good, your better good. You are changing your priorities. You are choosing you, your health, your mental health, physical health, spiritual health, and you are choosing as well for those around you who may have been impacted by that addiction as well. And then the last message on here is a melodramatic reaction. So, are you overreacting right now in a situation? Have you overreacted to a family member, a partner, in a work situation, a friendship, where there could be a need to make amends, to make things right, to say I'm sorry, to say, yeah, I let my emotions get the best of me, to really communicate with clarity and be concise and seek to repair that. Also with the 10 of Swords, you see the luggage here. So it may be a time, there was an illustration in a tarot deck I used recently, and the individual was coming over the other side of the mountain. And so that's what I'm sensing again. So it could be that you need a little bit of respite. You deserve to be able to re-energize your heart and your soul and your mind when you have come through a very difficult situation. You owe that, is what I'm receiving. You owe that to yourself so that you can have that new energy. You can see the new opportunities that are there for you. You can reignite that passion for you to use your skills and abilities to their fullest. All right, next we have the Knight of Cups. And the messages through this tarot is romantic, flirtatious, introspective, fickle, falling in love, being swept off your feet, a sudden love affair, a lack of balance in a relationship, situations or topics that make your heart flutter, a love of art and poetry. So a lot of messages. What's really standing out first, friends, and I know sometimes it's difficult to hear the more intense messages, but I will come back to the fun flirty side. But what really has initially when I was reading that jumped out is the fickleness, and jumped out as far as a lack of balance in a relationship. So are you in a relationship right now that, or maybe you're in the dating realm, either one, and the other individual is hot and cold, kind of fickle. They're in, they're out of the relationship. They're into communicating with you. They're not communicating with you. And when I say that, I'm being brought all the way back to the Ace of Swords. Communicate with clarity and concisely. There is nothing wrong for yourself, for you to know, to say to that other individual, hey, interested or not? And stand in your strength, stand in your inner power. Don't be afraid of those times where you may have a temporary time of being alone. Because in honesty, we're not alone. We have ourselves, we have our friends, some of us have family. very close. We have friends that aren't by blood family, but they're closer to us than family. We have work friends. We may have pets, neighbors, community, church, faith. So we, in essence, really aren't ever alone. So if you fear, what I'm receiving is if you fear to be more direct and communicating with clarity and concisely with this individual who may be fickle, don't be. It's for you. It is for you so that you can have a balance within yourself, so that you're not constantly worrying or questioning. You'll know where you stand with this individual. And if you are in a relationship, and when I say relationship, I mean platonic or romantic, even familial, family, is there a lack of balance? Are you always giving? Or maybe you're the one always taking in the relationship. So there is a need for that balance in the relationship so that it can be romantic. It can be flirtatious. It can have that newness of falling in love. If you presented a question at the outset, what I'm receiving in this moment, you're questioning, will you know love? Will you see love? Will you have love? This card is just pouring out right now these words of romance and flirtatious and really falling in love, being swept off your feet, allowing yourself, your heart to flutter. And there is that opportunity. It is going to be a part of you. So again, going back, that word of lack of balance or words is jumping off the page. If you're in a relationship where there isn't a balance and you're hungering for that romance, the flirtiness, that flutter in your heart again, same applies to you. What is it that you need to communicate? Be clear. Don't be harsh, but be compassionate when you speak it. Have an open dialogue is what I'm receiving. Hear from the other person and do that active listening. Don't just listen to answer. Don't just listen to defend yourself. Lay all that down. Lay that to the side and active listen. Hear from the other person, and then you as well present and ask your partner if they are willing to hear from you as well. And then also the last statement is a love of art and poetry. So maybe going back to that Ace of Swords, you are one who has a lot of love for the arts and writing and speaking and performing. Move forward with that. This card is here to say, move forward with it. Share your passion, share your love for the art. Maybe you're a painter, an artist, a writer, definitely hearing painting. So continue forward with that. The world, I'm sensing, needs your craft, your love, because it shows through your gift, your passion. People are able, I'm receiving, to connect to their heart, and their heart matters when they see your art and hear your poetry. Next, we have Ego, which is a major arcana, number 15. And this message says, the illusion of being trapped. Accept responsibility for your situation and then make choices that support your path to happiness. Addictions or unhealthy habits. Wow, friends. Okay. A lot jumped off the page as I read that, the card, excuse me. So this is confirming that addiction piece or unhealthy habits. So if you have not begun the journey of recovery, this card here is confirming that it's possible. The end of an addiction. There's plenty here that is calling for that step to be taken. There's new opportunities, new healthy behaviors, new healthy habits. There's support for you as well. in this reading as so far. Reach out, take that first step, decide for you. You and you only can make the decision to put whatever it is you're using or drinking or intaking down. It begins and ends with you. So take that step. Maybe you have an unhealthy habit. Maybe it is too much exercise. You over-exercise. Maybe you overeat. Maybe you smoke. I'm just saying what I receive. So if you have an unhealthy habit, that as well needs to be looked into. Same with the addiction piece. There's plenty here. There's support that's offered, and there's plenty of cards that say it's time for the change. You're missing out on life. You're missing out on those new opportunities. You're missing out on the ability to overcome this obstacle. So make the decision for you. The first statement here as well, there's that illusion of being trapped, coming back to, are you overreacting? A melodramatic reaction. Our Ten of Swords. Are you I'm receiving a mountain out of a molehill? Are you creating for yourself, kind of going back to that self-sabotage? Are you creating an illusion of being trapped? Are you doing that? Is your anger, is your resentment, your bitterness, your anxiety, your worry creating more to this situation where it is feeling like you're trapped? And as I say that about addiction, unhealthy habits, and being trapped, my eye is really being drawn to the Archangel Michael cutting through those swords. Cutting through those chains. I apologize, with the sword. And look at the freedom. The light coming through the sword and the chains. And even her pose is just one of freedom and release. It's there, my friends. Take it. Grab it. The angel source is saying, Archangel Michael, the angels, the whole realm source, if you do not connect with that, the universe, your inner power, your inner strength, it's there. Take that step. And if you are feeling trapped and you are self-sabotaging yourself, stop. Move out of your own way. Be willing to say to yourself, oh yeah, I am overreacting. Oh yeah, my anxiety got the best of me. It's okay, friends. Admit that. It doesn't make you weak. It actually makes you stronger. You are recognizing something within you that you now know needs a little bit of work. And then communicate clearly and concisely with that other individual and say, yep, anxiety got the best of me. Ooh, I let my anger get a little out of control there, my self-control. And make amends, make it right. Also, the accept responsibility is the next statement. So yes, accept responsibility. If you're self-sabotaging, accept that maybe that mountain may have been caused by us, by you. And I say that because I've done it myself as well, friends. So I stand in no judgment all throughout this reading, no judgment whatsoever. And then make the choices that support your path to happiness. Repairing what needs to be repaired with another individual or individuals, and then make those choices and changes that support your path to happiness. And again, my eye's drawn to that ego. It's putting down our ego. It's putting down our pride. And it's actually strength when we do that. It's not weakness, friends. Next, we have Justice, which is number 8. It's a major arcana. Back to back again, friends. Major arcanas call our attention to them when they are close to each other, and then also back to back. So we have be impartial and objective, stand up for what you believe, try to see all sides of a situation. You will win if your position is one of integrity. Wow, friends, that goes back to the beginning of our reading. being really willing to see both sides of the coin, being willing to hear from the other individual, be impartial, be objective, and stand up for what you believe. And we can stand up without being, the word isn't coming to me, authoritarian, dominant. You know, we don't have to be that way. We can stand up with strength, with courage, through compassion, through a willingness to hear, through a willingness of active listening. And when we do that, we often are able to heal wounds and heal relationships. And if you're saying, oh, I don't know, I don't think so, try it. Try it and just see. I encourage you to try it and see. It says here, try to see all sides of the situation. You will win if your position is one of integrity. Absolutely, friends. And it goes back to that fickle piece. My eye is drawn back to that. A lack of balance in your relationships. Are you coming from a heart of integrity? Excuse me. Integrity. That word did not want to be released. Are you coming from a pure heart? Have you put your motive? Have you checked your motives is what I'm receiving. Have you checked your motives? Have you checked your expectations of this individual or individuals or work setting? And have you allowed your heart to be pure when you move forward in that communication or in this project or in this situation? So you will find solutions and resolutions when your position is one of heart purity, integrity, and wanting the best for all involved. And then we have our King of Wands. And this message says, motivational, inspiring, theatrical, ambitious. Take a leadership role, step into the spotlight, public speaking. Keep your eyes on the big picture. Communicate your vision. Don't be sensitive to criticism. Wow, that kind of is almost bookends to our first two tarot cards in this set, friends. So you have great ideas. Refine them because you are ambitious. Step into that spotlight. Present your idea, your poem, your art, your passion. Present it. Move forward in that. Keep your eyes on the big picture. And if this piece does not apply to you, friends, hang with me. But going back to that addiction, the unhealthy habits, keep your eye on the big picture, because there's going to be times where you want to give in and give up. Don't. Keep your eye on the light. Keep your eye on the big picture. You, your family, your friends, your relationship. But priority is you. You are taking care of you. You are making better choices and healthier choices for you. I'm really sensing the mental health. So keep your eyes on the big picture. Going back to with our passions and our creativity, our ideas, communicate your vision. Do that. Make it big. Allow your heart to expand and really just show your love for what it is you are putting forth. You are inspiring. Definitely the King of Wands is that. Inspiring and motivational. You allow others to absorb your energy, to be energized by you. You are ambitious. There's also this statement, and the King of Wands represents that, of a leadership role. So maybe you're considering requesting a promotion, looking into a promotion, maybe going back, I'm receiving interviewing for that leadership role. Move forward in that. There's plenty here throughout the reading that indicates that, supports that, and step into that. Be willing if you are offered that position. Step into that. See the bigger picture. Know that you will be able to make a difference. And next, from our Dragon Oracle cards, we have Black Dragon. Cocoons you you so that your divine potential grows. So it's talking about the dragon cocoons you. Meditate, reflect, undergo a metamorphosis. Wow. If you are one, I've said it before in my readings, that looks for signs of confirmation, affirmation throughout the reading, here it is. A lot in the messages that were coming through. That need to undergo a change right here, friends. That need, again, down here with the addiction, the healthier habits, to undergo a metamorphosis. The time is now. There's plenty in this reading. I'll say it again. I'm really sensing that I need to repeat it again for that change. Allow yourself to make the choice for you, to rid yourself of that. I'm really hearing shackles, the bondage that those unhealthy habits have kept you in. Release them. Meditate. Reflect on what those choices have done to you and to those around you. I'm really seeing it's close to this relationship piece too, with the Knight of Cups. Reflect on that imbalance. What has it done to you? Has it done to the other individual or group of individuals? What is it that you need to reflect on so that you can communicate clearly and concisely, so that you can see what you may be missing in life? Allow that weight off your shoulders. Allow the change to begin, and it begins by taking a step. Doesn't have to be a big one. One step forward, one small step. Maybe this is encouraging you to meditate, to take that time for you, to allow your body to heal, to allow your body to be re-energized. That was coming through over here as well in the reading. To really gain that passion back and allow it to be energized again. And our last card for our reading is Royal Blue and Gold Dragon. Strengthens you to stand in your power with wisdom. Awaken to your majesty. Wear your cloak of power with pride. Wow. This is another confirmation. And this dragon is holding a sword too. And it's going to be close to that Archangel Michael as well, cutting through. It's right here. So you have the inner power, friends. You have power from source, higher power, universe, angels. Throughout this whole reading, the angels, source, universe have just been intense with these messages, friends. Seek it. Look to it. Seek the light. Trust your inner power and strength. Gain the wisdom that you need. It is here for you. There are swords. There are swords here with the 10 of Swords, Ace of Swords. There's a sword here on the card. Justice is represented through swords as well. So seek that. Seek the justice for yourself, for the relationship. Seek the wisdom as well. Awaken to your own majesty. What I am receiving very strongly is you are worth it. You are worth it. You are worth loving. You are valued. You are valuable. You are meant to be here. You have gifts and abilities to be given to yourself and to those around you. It will make a difference. Connect with light, higher power, source, angels, guides, and wear your cloak of power with pride. Not ego pride, friends. We talked about that. But pride that allows you just to beam that light from within. That allows you to feel the strength that is within you. To let go of what no longer serves you. Let go of what has kept you in bondage. Let go of your own self-sabotaging. Your possibly, I'm receiving that emotional imbalance of making a mountain out of molehills. Wear your cloak of power with pride. What I'm really receiving, friends, no matter what message connected with you, take the first step. Well, first, okay, let me back up. First, stand. Fully embrace that cloak of power, of strength, of support, higher power, friends, family, relationships, and accept that cloak of power and move forward, friends. Move forward. You are worth it. You are valuable. You are amazing. You are deserving. And what I'm receiving is if anyone or anything is trying to tell you otherwise, dismiss that. Let it go. Awaken to your own majesty. Awaken to your own majesty. Wear your cloak of power with pride. There was a lot of information that came through, friends. A lot of it was intense. I do truly hope you have connected with the reading, that there were messages and signs and symbols that you received that will be able to allow you to heal if you need to, allow you to move forward, allow you to balance, to take a step to move on if you need to release what no longer serves you, and truly step into who you were meant to be. As always, friends, love and light to you.